am Mankey from Bobo Key.
And I am Ange from Bobo Key.
Hi. Anyway. Angela went to the Got7 fan meeting.
I mean, first of all, I'm gonna be a bit blunt and say I'm not the biggest actual Got7 fan. Like, I don't dislike Got7.
She's not. I Got7.
Well, I don't know. I have a poster that says I am, but no, I'm not actually that much of a hardcore fan. I pretty much like about 2 songs a lot, but I went along because I was like, I think they've got interesting personalities. I thought if I'm gonna watch a fan meeting where they're playing lots of games, Got7's probably like my second choice after my One True Love, BTS. But so I went along, and first things first, I'm the realist, but second things second, they so at the start they had this big like a curtain,
screen?
like a flowy screen, a curtainy screen.
Oh.
And it was like it was white, and then they were like playing videos on it and stuff and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then at the start, like, you could see like Got7 were like lining up behind this screen, and it was like, oh, the anticipation's building, and they're like playing Hard Carry, and everyone was like, Hard Carry, hey, no. But like they're sitting there for a while, and I'm like, I reckon the curtain's broken. Because like you could see these people kind of walking around being like, what's going on? And it's kind of getting a bit awkward, Got7 just sitting there. And then you can just sort of see this hand from behind the curtain, like a Got7 hand just being like, kind of pulling on the inside of the curtain. And then someone comes out like onto the stage like from the side, and they're like just fully trying to pull the curtain down. They're just like giving up. They're like, okay, we've tried to pretend nothing's wrong with the curtain. It's time to just try and get the curtain down. So they tug it on the curtain, they're like, no. And so then Got7 kind of like peek out from behind the curtain. They're like, hi, it's us behind the curtain. And everyone's like, ah! And then eventually Got7 have to go off stage so that they can like winch down this part of like the thing that holds up the curtain on the roof. So they like winch it down so the curtain's like slowly coming down. And they have to all come on stage and like unclip the curtain manually. And then slowly winch this thing back up.
Oh,
and then they're like,
what a waste of time.
Yep, and then they're like, and now introducing Got7, and then Got7 just walk on awkwardly, and they're like, hi, it's us, Got7. And if they hadn't been in a room of like their own fans who were like, oh my god, it's Got7, I don't care that we just waited for like 10 minutes to watch a curtain being witched down and then up again. You know, I think it would have been a bit different, but the fans didn't really care. They were just like,
we got to see Got7.
Yeah. Answering some fan questions. And they're answering the fan questions, and each question matches like a letter from the word arrival. And so I don't know why that was weird.
Because they're like turbulence thingy.
Oh yeah, I knew that bit, but I'm like, but
arrival's
it was
their
just
last.
awkward because I'm like, A is for, I can't remember. Like something to do with secrets, which doesn't start with A, so I don't know what it was, But anyway, so they were kind of doing this thing where they was like, oh, so let's have a look at the first letter, A. A stands for blah. And like Got7 will talk about stuff, And they had a translator on stage too.
Oh, that's good.
And he didn't do much translating though, because he was the first like positive surprise of the night, which was like, Bam Bam was really, really fantastic at English. Like, I was very surprised. Like, I kind of knew that they were okay. I think
Tyron's pretty good with, like, the English education.
Yeah, but he was, like, really good. Like, as in, like, he didn't have to translate virtually anything, and he spoke virtually fluently. And I was like, geez. So the only one who really couldn't speak any English at all was JB. And then everyone else kind of had a good crack at some English. But so they're answering these questions, and Bam Bam's kind of doing the majority of the legwork in this section. Then other people are kind of telling stuff randomly, but it's kind of like I think if you're not like a super big fan of Got7, it was just kind of a bit like fabricated. Yeah, like as in like they would say stuff like, so they'll be like, oh, you know, what's a secret that you haven't told one of your members? And then one of them was like, I've never told, I can't remember who it was, so I'm just going, I've never told blah 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 that once I slept in his bed. And the other one was like, and everyone was like, ah! And I'm like, pretty sure he knows, mate. Like, you live in a dorm. Like, would happen from time to time. And then of course one of the others is like, actually, I slept on so-and-so's bed. And I'm like, and everyone's like, ah! And I'm like,
oh, the OTPs.
Yes, exactly. And I was like, this is not even new information to anyone. Like, I'm sure like anyone who is a fan of them is like, you gotta be more shocking than that. But anyway, regardless, like, you know, they gave it a good crack. And actually, aside from Bam Bam, JB was definitely pulling the storytelling. He was like, I need to come up with some fan-worthy secrets and stories, and like, oh, I did this with Jin Young and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And the fans are like, oh god, it's so true. They're perfect for each other. And I'm like, yep, okay. So here's the first surprise, right? Everyone's noticed except for probably Bridge at this point, because Bridge don't know anything. Yeah. But that Jackson's not really talking much. Jackson's just kind of sitting there on the side being like, I don't think he spoke one word during that whole segment.
Really?
And I was like, this is surprising to me.
Yeah. It's actually quite surprising because, like, he's very talkative.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of expecting him to be the one that was
leading.
kind of carrying
it. With, like, Bam Bam, because he likes to talk a lot too.
Yeah. And so I was like thinking that he would be like up there, but he wasn't. And so this doesn't become a big conspiracy until much later, but it does become a conspiracy, and I totally called it. And Brett Mitchell did not believe me that it would be like a conspiracy on the internet. I was like, it will be. So foreshadowing. And so the next game I can't remember if they performed some songs. They probably did. I think they did some ballad songs. I don't know, but I didn't know any of them because I'm not, you know, I'm like the worst Got7 fan ever. Well, they were like nice enough, but it was kind of awkward too because obviously what's Youngjae. But anyway, Youngjae, and so because he wasn't there, it meant that they had like, I sort of thought they might get someone to like cover his lines. Yeah. They did not. Oh. They just awkwardly were like.
But he's like the main singer, so it's just like, that's so awkward.
Well, I was thinking like, like, you either interpret that as like, so logically someone would cover his parts, right?
Obviously.
And if someone doesn't, is it just like, I kind of like think to myself, is it just because no one can?
Yeah.
Like, is it because his parts are too hard to sing for anyone else?
Maybe.
And then that's kind of awkward too, because then you're like, well, no one can sing except Youngjae. But I'm like, JB's pretty good. I don't know why he couldn't get in on that, but maybe it's because they often sing two halves of the same, you know, maybe if JB sings the first half of the chorus, Youngjae sings the second or something, and so it's a bit too much all in a row, like,
probably.
I don't know, but so the ballads are kind of like, I'm pretty sure I was like thinking like, oh, this probably would have been good if like, you know, people were singing. But so yeah, that was unfortunate, unlucky for them, and they also obviously had to rework a lot of their formations and stuff because of Youngjae being gone.
It's like sugar again.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Cracks me up. That reminds me of the first showcase.
Yeah.
And Carly and I did not realise that like there was an extra person dancing with BTS. Anyway, back in the day.
Back in the day.
Anyway, so they played their second game, and this game was cheek to cheek, where they have to put an item in between two people's cheeks, and then they go like, oh, and they have to feel around with their blindfold on. And so I was like, oh, and then Andy, good old Andy, at this point is like, so he's doing what I kind of think of as like friendly primary school teacher hosting, where he's like, and guess what? They're going to be cheek to cheek and trying to put something in between their cheeks and have to figure out what it is. Do you want to see Got7 cheek to cheek? Do you want to see it? Like, what am I supposed to be like? Like, yes, teacher. I don't know, it was just weird. And so I was like, all right, whatever. And so I think the first person that went up they divided into two teams and they were like playing against each other. And then I think Jin Young went up first, and then after that, because he went up, the other team was like, oh well, then we have to send up JB, right? Because they were like conveniently separated along like, you know, fan pairing lines. And so they were like, you know, getting their cheeks there, and then randomly they started like trying to chill on stuff, and so like whenever like it would like the thing would fall out between them, they're like, you know, oh my god, look, we're touching mouths, and I'm like, yeah, that's not within the rules of this game. But I think like, and Andy was kind of like trying to be like, just your cheeks, guys, and they were like, no, we're going to like touch our faces together a lot. And of course like the fans didn't care, they were like, oh my god, mouths touching. And I'm like, stop breaking the rules, Got7. Like, you're both cheating in this game. Anyway, and so we moved through the first round, and who won? I think it was JB. It was JB, okay. Anyway. So
what was the item?
More an apple.
Oh.
First one was an apple. And like, that's why when they started biting into it, I'm like, this isn't part of the game, I don't think. But anyway, and so it was interesting to me though, because I remember at the time, because they were making all their guesses in English for the most part. And I was like, even JB, I knew. So when he actually guessed it, it was like, apple. And I was like,
they get a good crack.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so in the second round, right, controversy.
Ooh,
okay, so
controversy.
Oh yeah, where things got real. So Jackson goes up and he's about to play, and everyone's waiting. Yeah, everyone's waiting, and then he says, Yu-Gi-Oh, play against me. Oh my god. And I was like, and I nudged Mitchell at that point, I'm like, fans crying, all the fans crying. and so they play, and then that leaves Bam Bam and Mark to pair off later and play the game. And then at the end they have to do like various penalties for like losing and stuff. Obviously the trauma there is that trouble in paradise between Jackson and Mark, right? And I was joking around about it for like the rest of the concert, just being a tool, because I don't care.
Yeah.
And Mitchell was like nobody's going to care about that, Angela. It's just like a fan meeting.